What's going on, world? It's your boy, Big Game James, _36, and this is Big Games B.S. We got to change the camera, man. Not the other way. Get the clock, get Trey's clock. Go ahead, give me the Malcolm X now. There we go. Well, you see Kai's new bed. I forgot we got Kai's new fucking bed in here. Anyways, I've hijacked the boys' room because I didn't feel like going into the lounge today. But Big Games BS presented by alphacliniconline.com. alphacliniconline.com, the go-to website for all things male-related, health-related. You don't need to just be a man. Now, you can be a woman. You can be this. You can be whatever you need to be. We will treat you. You want to get is the echo go?
Yeah.
All right. If you want to go and you want to get your health, you need telehealth medicine. That's what we're doing. That's what we're good at. We will give you that opportunity. Go check it out. Go type in Big Game sent you or Den Media Group, and they will be able to get you what you need. Shout out to Charles. Congratulations to Charles on the nuptials. Charles Walker. He did come through on Saturday to check out the lounge and had a great time. I'm happy for him. He got married by the defensive end for the Jags. His wife is the one who actually administered it. So it was Gastis's, his old lady. But it was cool. I'm happy for her. I didn't go. I'm saying it was cool, like I was there, but like I wasn't there. Funny story. This weekend, my sister gets married. Not Kyla. I don't know. Not Kyla. My half sister. She'll be married on Friday. And then I will probably more than likely have a hilarious story for you guys on Monday because I'm not going to the way she's going she's doing the right thing. She's doing marriage the right way. She's going to the courthouse. And I think that's what people should do. Don't waste all your money not going to the courthouse. She's going to the courthouse, and I'm happy for her. She's having a light reception, not reception, but like a get together where people kind of eat dinner and celebrate. It's going to be at a Spanish restaurant. She invited me, so I'm going to come and I'm going to hang out with her and her family on Friday. So my half brother will be there. The reason why I probably will have a hilarious story is because I don't know any of these people, and it is the other woman. So like the family of the other woman in my mom and dad's relationship. So I live for shit like this. So we'll see. I have no idea what this woman looks like. The other one, like her mom looks like. I have no idea what this stuff. A guy who knows both of us who watches the show, I'm not going to say his name because I don't want people to like get involved. He actually, let me read what he told me I should do because he listens to the show and he loves the show. Oh, Charles, my bad. Charles Walker said, "I'll be headed to Mexico when you start the show today. Thanks again, bro." So I just want y'all to realize he's listening. So again, enjoy Mexico, Charles. Trying to find why can't I think of my man's name right now? Trying to think of his name. We got to get Charlie checked out. Anyways, long story short, he told me that their mother makes the best greens he's ever had in his life, and he knows how much I like greens. And I said, yeah, that ain't happening. Like, imagine, like, I'm entirely too loyal to my mother to ever let that happen. Like, my mom makes some mean ass greens too, but I'm not finna go and I don't know why I can't think of it. I'm trying to find the message right now, but I'm not finna go eat greens from the other woman. If I could imagine me going to Carmen and saying, "Yeah, Carmen, I ate this lady's greens," and she'd probably unalive me. And I talked to my one of my mom's best friends. So I call him my aunt. My mom doesn't, well, actually, damn, I just realized this. My mom actually, shit, her life is damn near the same. My grandmother's ex-husband, I never knew him, left my grandmother for the babysitter. Yeah. So my mother has I have an uncle that's 2 years older than me. I She has two sisters. So I was about to say I don't have any aunts, but that's not true. I just don't really know any of them. I don't know them. I believe that one of the aunts um had a son that played football at Army.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't know that motherfucker. But it's wild how the stories like how the things replicate, man. Well, that would be that's the Adams.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that would be the Adams. But Watkins got some stories too, though. Watkins, it's some fucking crazy stories like that. These people. That's why I tell people don't judge this new generation too harshly. Go listen to your old people tell their fucking stories, and listen how fucked up the world has always been. So, but yeah, I'm not. But I was gonna say my mom doesn't have any sisters, but I don't know any of my. I don't really know any of my aunts. So my mom's like sorority sisters that I grew up with, or like people that have been around. Those are like my aunts. I call them my godmothers. I don't have time to explain to people why I have so many godparents, so I just say my aunts, right? My head tail dog said any bleach blonde bleach blonde butch built. Bleach blonde bad body butch built. Did you hear about the congresswoman who said that to Marjorie Green? The black lady from the hood. She hood as shit. But they said she told her, like, if you didn't have those fake eyelashes, you could be reading it. It was very personal, Marjorie Green's comment to her. And then she did what most people, I'm finding most Republicans do. Like when you clap back, that's when like, oh my God. She called her a bleach blonde, bad body butch built. The only thing she could have done better was said bitch. It was amazing. It was great.
Was she running or she had...
No, this was in a congressional session.
Oh, wow. That's wild.
It was so sexy. She's so hood. Like, it's just like, man, I can't believe I love that shit. Powerful woman. Well, I love powerful women. I am one of those things. Like, A Few Good Men is one of my favorite movies. Mm-hmm. And it's probably the most misogynistic line in movie history. One of them. And it's when my guy says, I just realized something. She outranks you. And he was talking to Tom Cruise, and I forgot the lady's name, the female actor's name. And he says, let me tell you something, son. There is nothing more sexy in this world than getting head from a woman who outranks you. Oh no, from getting a blowjob from a woman who outranks you. He said this to the woman, like, because again, this is now you say this shit in the military, they're gonna boot you. But he said there's nothing more. And now Demi Moore said, yeah, so Demi Moore is a name that everybody should know. She's sexy as fuck. But he says there's nothing more sexy than getting a blowjob from a woman who outranks you. Said the only thing unfortunate in my position is that I would have to have a female. The only way I could get this done is if a female becomes a president. And it was crazy because, like, imagine like him even thinking that that's a possibility. Like, he would try the president if it was a female, try to get some dome from the president. But Jack is crazy, dog. Jack said that, and anyways. We're going all over the place with this. But long story short, I should have some crazy stories between doing tomorrow. 30 years ago, I graduated from Appalachian Elementary School. I was 10 going on 11. I'm trying to figure out how to fuck that math. I know I was 10. So technically, next year would be 30 years, right? Yeah, because I went in 95. That's right. I went to Fairview in 95. 30 years ago, I started the 5th grade. But anyways, I'm doing my the graduation or whatever they're doing at my elementary school. I'll be running in and out. So it should be some funny stories when it comes to that. Then obviously my sister having her thing, me meeting the other woman. Oh, I was saying that because I was telling my aunt the story, right? About how I met Alex, my half sister. Everybody knows the name. Like this is a specific woman. This is why I know my father fucked up. And my father don't know the fucking game. My father's not a pimp at all. He's just a man who's had a lot of women. Every woman should not know this woman's name. Probably I was like 5 when they figured all of this shit out. So I was 5. What am I, 4? So you talking about 35 years ago, everybody should know this woman's name still. I don't remember some of the women that I've been with, let alone that. Like, so Pops, obviously this is a woman who had been really fucking with my mom. So Pops, you fucked up. Like, so this is also why I'm a little nervous about going, because this bitch was fucking with my mom's. And I need Alex. I like Alex. Alex and Josh seem to be very, very good kids. Like, not kids, they're grown-ups, but like seem to be very, very good. But like shit, I could see myself pulling some Game of Thrones type shit. Like, or like if you remember The Godfather, when Vito went back to Godfather 2, Vito went back to Sicily. Yeah. And he killed the guy who killed his parents and was trying to kill him. But like it was like that man had got fat and old. But you never forget, it's the son's job to enact the revenge for the family. Oh, Adrian put my father didn't give it to him. Adrian, her people know her people know me. They were like, yeah, he was running around. He's like, oh yeah, Rockbrook, running around Rockbrook. Like the stories that were told to me, I have to know. Why didn't these people? I had to be running with some of her uncles. I had to have it because they knew the stories about me. Like I don't understand, like how, it's not that big, but they literally like so. Where she lives, she went to Lincoln High School. I was supposed to go to Lincoln High School, both me and my sister. Even when my mom moved out of the hood, where she moved, we were still zoned for Lincoln High School. Like, she literally lives 5 miles from where I lived. So this dude was like just right around the corner, just not giving a fuck. But as I talked about, my father, if all you needed was a fuck, you were hanging from a cliff, and all you needed was one fuck to be able to get off of that cliff. My father will walk right by you and be like, you know what? I'm sorry. I'd help you, but I just can't give a fuck. I just don't give a fuck. That's, basically like shit. It was wild, man. I mean, shit, my bad. The housework was wild. As he would put it, was the 80s. Everybody it was the 80s, man. Like, whatever. The time, I mean, it's loud. It's like, again, you can't do that anymore. You can't have a family across the street. Not with the internet.
Yeah.
But like that was, just think about this, when people talk about time, and in the 80s was a long time ago. 80s and 90s. But it's still, I was alive enough. It's enough of us that were alive enough to be able to witness these things. And like, so there was a time, I'm young enough and old enough at the same time to be a part of a family, literally having family, like blood relatives, literally right around the corner from each other. Hey, that's crazy.
Wild. I mean, I guess everything is kind of staying the same.
Luckily, my father did not raise a puff daddy. I have literally only been interested in older women. I have never been interested in women my own age or younger. The only woman that I believe I've ever dated that was my own age is Rosalind Sherman. No, Edwina Freeman too. Those would be the only 2 girls that I've ever dated that were my own age. Everybody else has been exponentially older. But like I can't really just, like, if I was a Diddy or like, or Drake, and I like to go date like way younger, like this could have been a problem.
But I mean, Diddy he beats women.
Well, Diddy beats women too. Like listen, I don't. I feel guilty. Actually, my mother clarified something. That's why I love my mom. My mother, one of the realest women I've ever met. I had this. I mean, this is why some of y'all need to give your parents grace. Heal, people, heal. I had this vision in my head, right? And I remember it. My mom told me the story was true outside of one very, very important part. I've never I've never punched a woman or slapped a woman. I will say I did mush the fuck out of my daughter's mother, but that was a reason why, because she's hit me. And she put her hand next to my face, and that's the one rule I always tell people: just don't touch my face. Hit me anywhere, just don't touch my face. And she put her hands like really, I think she was trying to tell me to shush, but I didn't like haul off, close fit. I just kind of just more so put. It was more so push. We call it a mush. Like you just kind of put your hand and then you extend, like, and then push them away. That's the closest I've ever gotten. But like, I thought I saw my father hit my mother and tell me that if I called the police, he was gonna whoop my ass too. And my mom says like everything in that story happened, except for my father never put his hands on her. Like he never hit her. She was like, he was abusive mentally. She's like, oh, he told you if you called the police, he was gonna beat your ass. He's like, but you're a man, you're a boy, so he would do that. He's like, but he didn't hit me. And I was just like, but that whole thing traumatized me so much. Like, I'm like, you know what? I'll never hit a woman. I said to myself. So it kind of, in that way, he served the purpose.
God served it.
Yeah, he was on accident. Like, yeah, Kyle, Primo put something up there. Louis put Primo about to be undivided. So my grandfather was an OBGYN in Panama and had 4 mistresses. I have like 10 uncles, like shaking my head. Hey, Primo, the funniest thing about that, like, about Gagi Mouse, like, you know why she has 2 birthdays, right?
Because when she came here?
No, she was born in a village. And your birth certificate is when they find out about you. So like she had to she was born and it took a couple of days for them to get to the main city so that she could get like all the things she needed. So like, Panama is crazy too. Like imagine a third world country with now. Like hell, in the DR, if you make $1,200 a month in the DR, you can have 4 families. The average person makes $300 a month in the DR. Like you can be a king in the DR making with $24,000 a year. But anyways, let's get this show started. Enough. That can still happen in Mississippi, Lawrence. Like I said, that happened in Mississippi. It's like shit. Mississippi's only been free. Like we talk about Juneteenth, which is coming up. Mississippi only been free for a few years, man, for a couple of decades. South Africa was free before Mississippi was. Anyways, guys, we're trying to grow the channel, trying to get this thing to 6,000 members. We're actually at about we're actually 230 away now. So 145. So we're trying to get to 6,000. Once we get to 6,000, we'll give away $500 live on Big Games B.S. We'll also give away $100 to a Greenie and the amount of likes on the show once we do our drawing for the Greenie. Get to 7,000, 500, 200 amount of likes, a brick, and we will give away a copy. We will go ahead and purchase a copy of NCAA for somebody or Madden, depending upon how fast that hits. We will start dropping more college content, more football content here coming up in the summer months. Now that I don't have to actually wake up and take kids anywhere. Polo Kid, I am doing the tailgate package. I'm actually going to extend it to Father's Day. Polo Kid asks, are you still doing the tailgate package? I've had this shit up for over a month. I have done a shitty job of marketing it. So like it's a link that I have to give you guys, but I just like haven't posted the link. Like I think I posted it once and like 4 people have bought it. So I will post it and make it my my pin tweet so that people can go and get it. It's also the hats, or the MFTK hats are on there as well. We have all of those, and there are people who I still have to mail those. You have to forgive me. It's just something about post offices. I have a hard time. So, Eric, that's right. Eric got a baby on the way, I think. Or did you already just have a baby, Eric? But anyways, either way, congratulations. All right. So, anyways, long story short, tell a friend to subscribe to the channel. Also consider becoming a member. We will have all kinds of member giveaways and different things coming up for that. So, going to the next thing. My grandmother is one of the most hilarious people in the world. She is a Florida State fan because I played there. And but she's a football fan. First football game she ever went to was when Florida State versus UAB. Like, not just, and she loves football. First live game she went to was FSU versus UAB. That also happens to be the first game I ever scored a touchdown in. So it was funny that the first game that she went to, I scored a touchdown. But she was watching. She's at the home that she's in, and she was watching the news, and the news was talking about Florida State and a football player, and she didn't half understand what was being said. So she just said, who is Shaman Brown? Shaman Brown, in Alan May Adams terms, is Shaheem Brown. And she was like, is he good? I'm like, yes, Grandma, Shaheem is pretty good. Is he black? I was like, he's actually good in black, Grandma. Like, so he's like, he ain't a light-skinned brother at all. And she was like, okay, well, tell him I'm praying for him. Because, which she's not wrong in this instance, but like, everybody always believes that like I just happen to have all the connections in the world to everybody. Like, I got a friend, Shaka, who I love Shaka. If you go to the tailgates, you've seen Shaka before. I grew Shaka's one of those people who knows me. Like, Shaka done known me since the beginning of time. And Shaka was like, hey man, it's my son's 16th birthday, and I'm gonna try to do this. So anybody, and I probably can. He's his 16th birthday coming up in July. And he was just like, can you get Keon Coleman or Jordan Travis to give my son a birthday shout out? And I'm like, bro, that's a lot harder to do now.
I know they're both
like they're in the NFL, man. Like, I mean, like they never asked me. A real funny group chat story though. Real funny group chat story. Jordan Travis actually blocked one of my friends. He was so mean to him. Like, they hated J Trav. So like, I remember there's only one person on the timeline that could actually say he was a J Trav believer before everybody else.
People didn't believe in J Trav?
Oh, not in the beginning. Like, they made it seem like when he threw the football, babies cried. Like, it was like an abomination to football. That's football, excuse me. That's not extreme enough. Like, it was an abomination to humanity for him to throw a football. That's what they made it seem like Jordan Travis was.
What did Denny say about his release?
Denny was pretty rough on him in the beginning, but you could see he clearly got better. And I was indifferent, but I also operate with information that nobody else has because I talk to the coaches. I know them. And when Kenny Dillingham told me, he was just like, bro, like, I've never seen the one guy throw before. And then he said, if Jordan Travis gets surrounded by average athletes, he'll be a Heisman Trophy candidate. Wow. And then I was like, damn, that's some shit. Maybe. Then I went back and I watched. I'm like, he's really not bad. He just doesn't get the opportunity to throw. He's just a really good athlete, and they just make him run. So like, you know, when I watched him the first time we played Jacksonville State. So Polo Kid puts, I felt that way after Tate Rodemaker. I thought Tate Rodemaker was a terrible person. Like, I thought he was like, I hated him.
Who raised him?
Like, and he's a football player and he did all these things. I'm like, dog, it's one thing to be intimidated by playing Miami. It's another thing to be intimidated when you play an FCS school. Like, this man was not doing anything. And Jordan Travis single-handedly came in there and saved us from losing to Jacksonville State the first time we played them. And they were better the first time we played them than the second time. And Jay Trav was hurt, and then I don't know what the kid's name. I just call them Disney Channel movies because if we would have won with them, they would have made a cold ass Disney movie about a kid with one leg, like repairing it and then coming back. But anyways, though, my man Brandon really loves Jay Trav, and he got kicked out of like every FSU message board because of his love of Jay Trav and arguing it.
Back later in the season.
They won't. Even mine. So fifth quarter, I after the fifth time, I said, "Listen, Brandon, we're on the beach in the DR." I'm like, "Listen, Brandon, I can't help you out again, dog." Bro, like because he would get mad and they would like, "He sucks," and then he would be like, "You son Dodger, you don't know what you're talking about." And he got really personal. Yeah, dude.
Son Dodger.
Bro, he called like a vampire. He called them he called white people all kinds of mean. I was like, Brandon, you're not getting kicked out because of your defense of Jordan Travis. You're getting kicked out because of your racist, man. And like, I was like, I have to kick. Like, if they kick, I said, you're only getting brought back in here because you're my friend. And I got to the fifth time, I said, dude, you're still going to be my friend, right? You're still my friend. But I can't let you back in because you keep saying this shit.
When the pilgrim guy defends you, you're going past him.
Yeah, I'm like, you're past it. You overstepped, son. And he'd be like, you know what? You're right. That was a little bit. But, man, it just made me so angry how they treat Jordan Travis. And I'm like, it's like,
you get really upset over Jay Travis.
Really upset over Jay Travis.
He was right.
But he was right. He was right. But Sun Dodger was wild. Yeah. But, anyways, though. So, my grandma, long story short, my grandma now knows his name. She'll still pronounce it wrong because she can. And that's what old people do. And, for the people who like to be like, well, why, if he was white, would she not like him? I don't know. Maybe she wouldn't. Old people get passes.
Yeah.
I'm like, my grandmother's been the way she's been her whole life. That shit ain't changing. She's actually one of the nicest old ladies you'll meet and meanest old ladies you'll meet at the same time. But anyways, college football's coming out. Can't wait to get it. I can't. 2 months couldn't get here fast enough. But this is but the memes and things that are coming out for NCAA is wild. Go to the first one. This is going to be me. I'll probably even do an introductory press conference for the team that I picked to lead to multiple national championships. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I am going to take cues from college football's favorite coach. This would be my introductory press conference to the team that I decide to lead to victory on Saturdays in NCAA 2025.
We got a few positions already taken care of because I'm bringing my luggage with me. And it's Louis. Okay. It ain't gonna be no more of the mess that these wonderful fans, the student body, and some of your parents have put up with for probably 2 decades now. I'm coming. And when I get here, it's gonna be changed. So I want y'all to get ready to go ahead and jump in that portal and do whatever you're gonna get. Because the more you jump in, the more room you make. Because we bring kids that are smart, say that, smart, tough, fast, disciplined, with character. One more time. Smart, tough, fast, disciplined, with character. That's the one we're going to get. Is that you? We got a few positions.
The funny actually is not that I think about this. The more I think about that meeting is hilarious.
It's wild, right?
It's hilarious. The more I think about, he's told kids go and jump in that portal.
Yeah, that's the part. I was like, hold on, I didn't miss that.
Because we're going to go in the portal to look for kids that are fast, tough, disciplined, with good character. Do you know what the portal is full of? Kids who aren't fast, kids who ain't tough, Like, because that's what all the coaches say where kids, even Dion, including Dion, people hit the portal because they're not tough enough to fight it through. But you're going to go look for kids in the portal who other people say aren't tough enough to fight it through.
And then you want me to repeat after you.
I'm not. That's the wildest part in that shit. I'm not repeating this shit. Fuck you.
What? How you going to replace me?
I said, boy, fuck you. I would not repeat it. I was like, man, I'd be on my phone like, hey, man, coach, this motherfucker tripping.
Go ahead and jump in that transfer portal. Is how he opened up.
That's wild. That's a wild statement. But I'm not going to lie to you.
Like it was a pool on a hot day.
I don't think it works in real life. But you know what it works on? It works against AI and it works on NCAA 2025. I'm going to go in there and whoever I get, I'm going to transfer portal. You know what I'm also doing? I'm lying my ass off to every kid that I got to flip. Like real life. But like my boy Big No, actually we can put that. It doesn't matter which one you put next. But this definitely will be me. Because I do this now as a running back coach. When we go play the black schools and their band is live, I find myself vibing to the band. But the guy puts on here for the people who are going to be listening to this. You're playing on the road against your first ever HBCU in NCAA 2025, and they bring out Jeezy mid-game. One, two, sing my shit, go. Hot Cheeto, what I snack on. I ain't gonna. So the state championship game, they had a DJ at FAMU. And I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like that DJ was fire, dog. Like it was like a concert. It was like a club where a football game just so happened to be being played. I mean, they was playing all the songs. Like we were entirely too geeked for that game. Man. I knew nothing good was coming about this game. Bankroll Fresh is the guy who he was rapping with on that song. Like he got killed or murdered right before like that Jeezy album dropped. That might have been the last dope album Jeezy dropped. Jeezy's last album was like too personal. It's like a diary where he rapped. Like he went off on everybody. Like, you know, like because a lot of people had came against him. Like his bodyguard had started doing interviews and other people, and he was just like, you know, yeah, but that right there, like Jeezy's one of my favorite rappers, and I don't expect anything but what I want from Jeezy from that.
I mean, that hot Cheeto line.
Yeah, hood. Like, I mean, it's very relatable. Matter of fact, the first tailgate I ever did, we talked about hood snacks. We need to, and I had to educate. This is when I realized what my purpose in life is to bring cultures together. The white people didn't know. The Pilgrims didn't know what hood snacks were. So I said hot Cheetos, Funyuns, you know, don't bring cherry soda. Don't bring cheer wine. Black people don't know what cheer wine. I know what cheer wine is, but don't do that. Go bring some Czech sodas, ice cold and peach. Don't be afraid of the exotic flavors. It's not going to kill you to get a little flavor and seasoning. But like, anyway, so like stuff like that, I can relate to, but like, I don't want Jeezy to rap about anything besides selling drugs because I won't believe it. I like Jay-Z growing up with his music.
Yeah,
he's grown. You can see that's been his whole career. But like if Pusha T started rapping about like 401ks and art and responsibilities, I wouldn't believe it. I don't like it. I want him to talk about what he knows or what he knew, even if he hasn't done it in 40 years.
That's where he's gonna say that's his lane.
This is lane. Like nobody makes better analogies about cocaine than Pusha T and Jeezy. When I knew Jeezy, because I like realism, I believe Jeezy sold drugs because of the analogies.
Right.
It was too many like real. Okay, I can see that. You know,
It's like 25 letters on the dresser. It's the imagery that you can only have if you've been there.
You've been there. Like a lot of guys when they rap, I'm like, I don't really.
Yeah.
I don't see that for you. I don't really believe you did that. But Jeezy, like what was it? It's very specific. Like I believe that happened. Like passengers a rib on her weave look like some curly fries. Inside's fish sticks, outside's tartar sauce. Pocket full of celery. Imagine what she telling me. Blowing on asparagus, the realest shit I ever wrote.
And he's not comparing it to like, I don't know, something that we couldn't afford or something. He said tartar sauce.
Like he wanted you to know, like, okay, man, what's harder than a napkin? What's harder than a napkin? Whiter than a dinner. What's harder? No, what's whiter than a napkin? Harder than a dinner plate. If you want it, come and get it. You know I say super straight.
Yeah.
Ran up it. Now this is how I knew. Because you could pay cash for the Super 8 back then. So if you put cards on file, people knew, you know, where you is this on oh yeah, if you so ran up in my spot, so now I'm working out the Super 8. I'm just saying, like, you know, again. But then we found out, and a lot of us didn't know. We knew Atlanta was hot, but a lot of us didn't know who Meech was like that. Mm-hmm. Then you find out about Big Meech, and then it makes sense, and you realize he was okay. Now I get it. Now I see it. Okay. Yep. So you know, the mashed potatoes, like that's what I mean. Listen, man. Like this one, I put in my boy. OJ was posting about something. I said, you know, and then this one thing says, it's 3 a.m. Take your old ass to sleep. Third time she done called the police this week. Like if you've been on the corner, you've been outside, you know them old ladies. It's the old people that's really out there that you ain't bothering nobody, but they know, hey, you know. That part. Like they the ones, you're right. Those are the ones who were here when this neighborhood used to be good.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you in the apartments, they in the homes. Shoot, man, Jeezy. Yeah, and then the ad-libs.
Yeah.
That was crazy, man. Crazy. Anyways, but that's it.
Is hip hop infamy for me.
Yeah, I like Jay's remix on it.
Okay, yeah.
My president is black. In fact, he's half white. So even in a racist mind, he's half white, half right.
Yeah.
But the only reason my president is black is because of the Boondocks. That the scene where he was just like, he's like, what if this were a movie? First off, fuck you. Fuck the patent leather loafers. Fuck your fairy ass accent. Fuck your yuck mouth teeth. Fuck the Queen. Fuck Great Britain. Fuck God Tory. I got God Tory. I forgot the first guy. Fuck Guy Ritchie. He's like, my president is black and my Lambo is blue. The fuck out my face. Get the fuck out my face. And if I see you again, I'm slapping the shit out of everyone. It was like one of the coldest. I don't even know why he ended it like that, but it was great, man. It was great, man.
That's how everybody felt.
Yeah, I mean, it was wild. But anyways, man, if that's how it be when I be coaching, I'll go to the next one. My boy Big Noel, Luke, cover your eyes on this one, Luke. But my guy Big Noel put, this is Miami fans, when you tell them ACC titles, they win on NCAA 2025, don't count in real life. It is just a little baby. It's a little baby girl cry. She's so cute.
She's like understanding.
Like I don't even like whatever she's telling her, like she's just like, you're right, but I still want to cry. But Big Noel is one of those guys where his trolling is so legendary that it just goes on a whole new level. Like nobody believes. He got to get paid for it at this point. But what I want people to realize, this is why I tell you there's only one community I fear. There's nothing good that comes out of this. But I want to tell you how inclusive I am in this. Whoever this person is, I need them to come to Mandarin High School because this motherfucker could start right now at right tackle for us. And I need y'all to watch this with a open mind and a clear heart because clearly the other guy deserved this ass whooping. And they knew it. And it's kind of they put themselves in a corner because they knew there was no way they were going to be victorious in this situation for your viewing pleasure.
Don't do it.
What's that?
Don't do
What's
it.
that? What's that? Come on, come on, bitch. Come
Just
on.
pause right here, Miles.
Oh, whoa.
This guy knows in the black
Yeah.
that there's no victory in this.
And where's the teacher?
I don't know, but if I was a teacher and I saw a dude with that afro
Right.
and boy shorts,
Dog.
like one, where is the discipline in this school? Those are not fingertip length. He should be kicked out of school. Like, you know, do they even like have rules anymore for kids? Remember the girls used to get written up if their fingertips went past their shorts, like they would have to pull them down. But I see, first and foremost, look at that stance.
That's what I was gonna say. He can pull off a roundhouse. He can go into a takedown.
See, you're talking about real fighting, and you're not wrong. I'm talking about if he bends his knees, or excuse me, I apologize. If they bend their knees, actually, they might be in a pretty decent stance right now. They are protecting the interior.
Right.
The quarterback is safe. But there's a lot of confusion going on. The voice, the hair, the shorts, and then they've got a big ass kiss. And I'm believing that's a kiss shirt on. So I'm just, oh no, is it a mouth or what? I don't know what's on that person's shirt, but.
And let's not forget, probably like 75 pounds on old boy.
Yeah, they got the height, the reach, and the weight advantage. This is clearly not a fair fight. And just watch the ferocity. He took out all of the years of getting picked on this guy. And they are not shaving. They don't know what they want to do yet. Like, they don't know if they want to be Saucy Santana. But this is why y'all got, I'm telling you though, y'all be talking shit. Y'all treat being bifocal or bisexual or whatever it is, y'all treat it like it's a disability. It is not a disability. You can get, everybody can get that ass whooped. And you don't want to get whooped by somebody like this. And then, you know, you wearing them tight ass pants and then now you at their mercy because you done got knocked out. Because look at what he does to this person. Go ahead.
Come on. Come on. What's that? What's that?
He's not even ready.
Oh yeah, run that shit. Shit! God damn!
Do you see the movement?
Oh, wow.
Eli, stop!
The name is Eli. So one,
What's that?
anybody named Eli? Like, remember, Eli's one of them them names that they don't even have them names no more. But remember another notable member of the community, Young M.A. She called out in the most misogynistic rap song of all time. Hey, yo, Eli, why they testing me? I don't know who Eli is, but that's who she talks to when she gets tested. The Book of Eli. Eli short for Elijah or Elisha. Go look in the Miles. You've been reading the Old Testament.
Yeah.
Go read about them motherfuckers. Them boys was some wild boys.
That looked like domestic violence.
That clearly was domestic. You know what? That's what I'm doing. That's the only way you can win. Only way you can win. Just say, hey, we were having an argument as a couple. And sir, I need him arrested. That was not a fair fight. Listen, man. Never mind. I was going to say something. When you're dealing with a person who's confused about where they're going off in life and they don't necessarily like themselves, what makes you think they're going to care about you? Bruh, I better stop messing with these people when they ain't messing with you. That would have been even more terrifying if that was a wig and he just pulled. I mean, excuse me, I apologize. They just pulled it off.
Nah, bro, that's a young Big Rains in the making.
Real talk though, like it's not a disability. We are you are literally wasting some really. I know you don't want to be hot and you take on some of the characteristics of the opposite sex, but like seriously, they got air conditioned helmets now. Like, they got Gatorade. The science is so much better than it was 20, 30 years ago. Like, we could win state. Like, come on, think about it. We don't need you cheering. That ain't helping the school. Yeah. What we need you doing, we need you on that football field. Doing
that.
Eli, that's all you got to do, Eli. Do that. Let's try not to, like, what I would tell you, Eli, is listen to what that person said. Take all of that in, right? Take all of that in. And then on Friday nights, that person is the other person on the other sideline. You just do everything you just did right there, Eli. I need you to do on a football field.
Speaking as a black man in the South, Eli, you can change the nation.
And that's the crazy part. Like, everybody talks about inclusivity, man. I'm telling you, Eli, if you did that, Eli, right there on a football field, you would do so much for every other kid coming behind you. Like, I know there's people probably in the comments, like, not on mine, but like that, oh my God, this, and they're talking about, using God against you. Not me, Eli. Not me. Eli, I need you to, it's two things I need you to do. Take that hate or that love. If you see somebody that you like on that other side, as long as it's within the framework of the rules, I don't give a fuck, Eli.
Get as close to you.
Get as close, man.
You can pancake him and just
lay on them. Make kissing noises. They do all that shit anyway now. Slap them on the ass. Like, do what you want, Eli, because you're imposing your will. Eli, you just imposed your will on another man. In real life, that's a felony. Technically, he transported, as I told him, when you transport somebody against their will over a certain distance, technically that's kidnapping. In football, that's called a plus. Like, that's called a scholarship in football. Like, it equals scholarships. So, like, it's like that comedian said, if you got a bunch of transmissions together and they beat the University of Alabama in football, that would change it. That would change the world, man. I'm telling y'all, okay, the only reason y'all think black men have the power that they have, it ain't because before football, let me tell you, because in a history lesson, again, I don't ever it's wild in the way that I place it present it to you, but it's all factual, most of it. A black man created a cotton gin to make black people's lives easier in the slavery, and that didn't get us out of slavery. A black man invented the traffic light. Black man invented the gas mask. Black men invented the fucking the wrench. Black man invented the screwdriver. There have been black women got us in fucking space. None of that shit got us out of got us integrated. You know what got us integrated? USC beating the fuck out of the University of Alabama. That's what advanced integration. So if you can smart your way through it, you can be nice, you can serve people. Like, black people was working in hotels, they was being just as nice as anybody in the world. But I guarantee, matter of fact, that motherfucker Eli would go to Alabama.
Yeah.
They would forget all of that other stuff with the quickness. Don't believe me? University of Miami brought a defensive end, Chance Williams. He was from Oakleaf. Chance is a part of the community.
Okay.
He was a fucking high school All-American. Didn't play at Miami, but the point is that they didn't give a damn. They looked over that shit because the motherfucker could rush the passer.
What else matters?
I'm telling y'all think the locker room is not what you think. They respect excellence. Because if you can put paws on somebody and whoop their ass, it's going again. If you're so good, be so good to save you from a lot of ass whoopings. So
I bet that skinny boy had a lot of jokes. There was
a lot of jokes.
said before.
And now there's a lot of jokes said about him. It is a wild, wild world we live in. But like, yo, that shit's still hilarious to me. Yo, fuck Eli. But everyone wants to see a car crash, man. Everybody wants to see fights. Everybody wants to see car crashes. Heck, NASCAR embraced winning before everybody else. Jeff Gordon? He was called the Rainbow Warrior.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. Ain't no hiding that part. You could tell, but NASCAR starting to embrace. It's funny because like we watched that video and we're like, oh, we're shocked because it was a large black individual beating the fuck out of a skinny black individual. But now let's look at what it looks like when NASCAR does it, because now you could take your time, but damn, I'm still impressed by Eli.
Yeah, man. If that coach doesn't look at that.
Yeah, I'm like, they're trying to kick him out of school. The football coach is defending Eli. Yeah, man, Polo Kid, did you see Eli's arms, though?
That's what I'm saying. He has to have 70 pounds on that boy.
Like, Eli work out, man.
Yeah.
Like, Eli with that. All my life, I had to fight. But look at what happens when the Pilgrims get upset with each other at NASCAR. This is an all-star race, too, so it's like, it's just crazy. Kyle Busch, he sucker punched Kyle Busch. I'm not gonna hold you. I don't know which one is who.
That was the slowest sucker punch I did ever. Hey,
Get off this motherfucker! Yeah! Fuck you! I know him! Get off this truck! Get off this truck! Get out of here! Get out of here!
That's what I look. That's one thing. Can I express something? This is a safe environment. Can you rewind it back? If I were white for one day, this is what I would want to. This is what I would use my whiteness for. Not that, because that's terrible. Keep going. Keep going. Fast forward. I want to get to the guy who's in the jumpsuit.
Hey.
Keep fast forwarding. Yeah, right there. Just push play right here. This is what I would want to do. I just want to be. It's
just the old lineman.
Right, like you know how again I talk about Freaky Friday, right?
Yeah.
Like I knew how much I did. I never knew how much power and how fun it was to say a certain word, because technically we've been given that opportunity to say that word our whole lives. But then when I saw, Lil Dicky and Chris Brown, and it was his first, and there was so much variation in it, and I saw the joy on his face. And then, like, even though I know it means violence is about to come, but to call somebody a ban or a pan, like, just what you meant that shit.
Yeah.
That's why I wasn't mad when the country singer said it. Because I think context is key in a lot of this stuff. Like if a white guy's talking, he was talking to another white person.
Exactly.
So, but like if you're a white person talking to a black person, and you say, "Man, F you in," like you knew you threw a bomb up there.
Yeah.
But if you're talking to a white person and you call them a bitch ass, all right. But what I want to be able to do is say, "Get." It sounds so empowering. Like, get. Like, get on now, get. I want to be able to say that one day, like just but not as a like me. It doesn't have the power, it doesn't have the same effect when I say it. Go on now, get. It sounds different. Like when he said that shit, he meant that shit.
Right.
You see that face right there? That's a get face. Like at your point with this disdain in your voice, like that motherfucker meant that shit. Let's see if did we get it on the right point.
Get out of here! Get out of here!
Even him.
Yeah, get out of here.
And he's not as big as the other person. When we said get out of here, like he meant that shit.
Yeah. It's like
And did you see what happened when they pushed and they said, get on out of here? Get out of here?
It worked.
It worked.
It worked.
Am I don't come on now? Let's be if we're gonna be anything, let's be for real. Do y'all not see that shit? Is that not powerful to you? Just to say, go now, get out of here. And they just left. They fleed. It's a powerful, I mean, I just look again. Sometimes it's just sitting there. It's like it's little privileges that you don't appreciate because you get to do it all the time.
Yeah, I've never said
go now, get out of here, get. I've never done that before, so I don't know. I don't feel like it would have. I feel like if I said it in my current being, I would get laughed at.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I was not even the big guy, if I was like the other guy with the little, I feel like it's so much more powerful coming. Like I think if I was walking around and he just ran and said, "Now go and get out of here," and he just did that. He just jumped out. He just jumped out of nowhere. Go and get out of here. I would probably be like, "Damn, I don't know. I was going somewhere, but shit, all right, bro. Let me get the fuck out of here now." I love it, dog. Like it's just funny, man. But like again. Just
working on the range.
I mean, motherfuckers get mad. I didn't realize it got that testy when you're driving.
Well,
but I know there was a wreck that was involved. I mean, I could have died, but hey, it's kind of you kind of realize that could happen. Wrecks happen.
Yeah, that is true. That's why I can't be a racist. Yeah, that's crazy.
So at the Super Bowl, they had an F1 simulator.
Oh, really?
And I realized I have no business driving the F1 car. Like those turns that they're making. Now I did realize that everybody drives. The only thing about NASCAR is everybody drives the same speed. So they're like all there. So it is strategy in like your car getting the drift and just getting a little bit more and stuff like that. But like, when I was driving the F1, man, if you don't turn, you have to like know that thing ain't no sudden movements coming.
Oh, really?
Like you have to start turning way before you get there because you're going really fast.
The viral videos of the F1 drivers with their neck training exercises. Have you seen that? Because apparently, I guess all the force.
Yeah,
really would have you with the noodle neck after.
Man, that shit's crazy. I'll tell you what one of our dumbass kids did this weekend at prom. Actually, and I'll tell you. I'll tell all y'all what one of our dumbass kids did at prom. I won't tell you which dumbass kid, but just know the motherfucker's good. Bitch went 102 in a Corvette. And that's not the problem I have, because I did the same thing at my junior prom. The bitch went 102 in a Corvette while videotaping himself.
Rawr.
Like,
wow.
Is anybody in the timeline, because this will help the algorithm, show of hands, anybody who's gone over 100 miles per hour in a car?
For sure.
Okay. So, how did you feel when you got to it? It feels empowering. But when you do it, like in certain cars, it starts to get a little lift. Like you feel like you're lifting a little bit, right? And if you get like a little overcorrection to the right or the left, and that bitch is tumbling. Like my junior prom, I was coming back home, and where my mother lives on Appalachian Parkway, and there's a Walmart, and there's a stoplight, and and it's literally the straightest shot. Like I don't think it's a curve on that road from there to my mom's house. And I said, you know what? She had an Ultimate. Ultimate went 140. I know I couldn't do 140 because it has a governor on it. It stops about 125. It's a car. Yeah. It's the car. Yeah. So I hit 120 on that bitch. That motherfucker started going like this, and I'm like, oh shit. I got nervous. I got nervous. So like that thing got there real quick. And I was just like, let me put this down. I don't want to go up. I'm not trying to fly. I'm trying to just, so I can only imagine how those cars are. And that's why and I learned about fast cars when I was learning sprint mechanics. So that's why they have the nose is down and the tail is up, is because naturally it's going to, but like when you're driving, when you're running, that's why you want to start off with your ass, pause, but butt in the air, and then you come out like that. Same thing with swimming too. You want to swim under the surface when you're speeding, anyways. But like,
y'all driving? Ramon talk about a 151.
Man, those are cars that I can't even like. But shoot, I'd be like, I got too much to live for, man. Like you do the calculations and stuff, you really ain't getting there that much faster. Like, because you get like, even when I'm driving on I-10, the other side too is when you've lived, again, this is how you can tell when people live certain lives or know people who live certain lives or have friends, because you get your experience about life through friends. Yeah. So I-10 is not as nice of a highway as people think. Neither is 95 in here. I-10, 95, like a lot of people get pulled over to the side of the road. And now when I'm driving as a civilian, now especially the glasses definitely help more now, but the glasses in the F-150, when I'm driving, I look to the side of the road, I'm like, damn, that person's pulled over. Oh. And I see the police and I see them sitting down, I'm like, oh, I know what's happened to that guy. Car, because they will take your entire car apart, right, and leave it there for you. A mess. Because I-10 is a major drug corridor. 95 is a major drug corridor. And if you're driving fast, you are literally giving them a reason to pull you over. You need to obey the speed limit. Just take your time, trust me. But I did learn something very valuable with that young man doing 102. Trey will not be getting a car. Like for prom. Trey will be getting a car service. Yeah, that's the way. Somebody will drive you to and from. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the amount of money those parents are, have you seen the proms that I learned this from a daughter's mother? You down south motherfuckers are fucking idiots. Like all this design, you're poor. The money they put in prom, it's wild. They could put in their kids going to college for the first semester. They're like, oh, we gotta pay. It's like $5,000. Like you'll see people that you gave money to because they were talking about they were short on their rent or something. And then you look at their kid for prom and you're like, you found all that money for that? Like helicopters, fast cars, and stuff like that. Helicopter. Like I've seen it all, bro. It's crazy. Yeah. Trey will get a photo shoot. Listen, so whoever's daughter, my son is going to be an upstanding gentleman. And I know his mom's listening, but that being said, they're teenagers. Teenagers fuck, guys. I don't know if y'all realize that or not. We're gonna get them a driver. We're gonna give them a privacy window. So like, that's all you're trying to do. Like you're trying to impress, like, so you can get this. Like, let's be honest. We don't need them to die. We need them to get to their destination safely. So, whatever. But I ain't nah. But Mike Williams, college, how will the TikToks go viral? the problem. TikTok isn't the problem. It's the adults that need to go viral for TikTok. Or like give your kids a little bit more love and they won't need that. But anyways, college football's coming up. We got college football win totals by Brett McMurphy. You know, some of these will make some people mad. Some of these will be on par. I'll give you my opinion on these. They got the highest win totals in whichever one you want to pick. It doesn't matter. We can go there. Big 12 win totals via Action Network app. Kansas State at 9.5. Utah at 9.5. Oh, we did this. My bad. I forgot. We did do this on the other day, so we can skip that. Because I remember Dion and remember reading a couple of those. My fault. Apologize. We'll go down to recruiting. Is recruiting truly everything? Something that I like to show, because I like to show people that I'm kind of smart. And I kind of use logic and I approach things. And covering the NFL has made me not be as afraid of college football and the landscape and the where the world is going. So one of my favorite coaches currently, Deshaun Foster, again, in a what do you call it? Not TikTok, one of our reels that just always finds new people that want to add new stuff to it, that don't listen to the full. It's literally a minute. People will read will put, like, you can type your comment while you're listening to it.
Yeah.
But they won't. They just read the message or whatever, and then they go with it. But Deshaun Foster breaks down what the real college football landscape is like. And you've been hearing this from me. High school is the draft and whatchamacallit. But anyways, listen to what Deshaun Foster, how he describes all of these different things.
What is your roster building method? We saw you had a huge UCLA Friday Night Light event here recently that produced a lot of prospects. But how are you going to go about building your roster? What are the importances, things that you're looking for in recruits?
Well, we're going to the portal, so we've had success with the portal with guys that have played, and just taking guys that we really fit our program. But mostly it's high school kids are like draft picks, and the portal is free agents. We want to get in there. If we're recruiting you as a high school kid, we think that you're a draftable kid first, second, or third round. And then if we're going in the portal, we must not. We have a hole that we're trying to fill, or we just haven't developed a guy ready for that position. But then we'll fix it with a portal. But just getting talent in here. It's that roster building thing is really key, because that's your culture. And you got to make sure that you're putting the right type of kids in this locker room that really want to be here.
So did you hear him say basically the kids that they're getting, are you a draft pick? And if they're not, they're addressing the free agency. That's basically what recruiting is like. So again, these are the college coaches talking about the new landscape. So is the traditional way of recruiting important? That's the question that I would pose. And that's kind of where we're going to go in with this segment, is traditional recruiting. The way, should we really care about these things? So go to the next thing. And it kind of shows you where, I want to talk about the teams that have had the quote unquote most success in recruiting. So here are the teams with the highest average class ranking in the last few portals. It's from 2021 to 2024. You've got Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, LSU, Texas, and Oregon all tied. Oklahoma, the University of Miami, Notre Dame, and Texas A&M. What do all but two of these teams have in common? And Polo Kid, yes, Deshaun Foster does look like that Ty Tribbett. That's not a good thing. All right, so we know Texas A&M hasn't won shit, and they've been recruiting pretty good. Average a top 10 recruiting class. Notre Dame ain't won shit. Average a top 10, just inside of a top 10 recruiting class. University of Miami, average is 9, ain't won shit. Oklahoma made the playoffs once, but ain't won shit. LSU, Texas, Oregon ain't won shit. Texas got backdoored into the fucking playoffs last year. Ohio State, in the last 3 years, been to the playoffs, but ain't won shit. Georgia and Alabama are the only two that have won national championships with a top 5 recruiting, with the average of the 1 and 2 ranked recruiting class. What that means is when we're faced with facts and numbers, like, you know what? LSU is the 4th highest ranked team on there with an average of 7. Florida State's beat them. University of Miami, Florida State's beat them. Notre Dame 3 years ago, the same year that Florida State lost to Jacksonville State, Florida State took Notre Dame to overtime and should have won that game.
I remember being at
What I'm saying is maybe traditional recruiting isn't what we think it is.
the first 2 comments. Miami still has nothing to show for it. Doing less with more. A Miami hurricane tradition for the last 20 years.
I mean, it's like I'm saying, like, if this is what we are having, people are literally having spaces complaining about a team that went undefeated in recruiting, that finished with the top 12 recruiting class, but a top 3 transfer portal class. And they had a top 5 class until one guy left. But what I'm saying is, this is like, it's there in front of you. Like, it's not me. I'm not making it up. It's 2 teams that it benefits. And the one at the top had to get backdoored in Alabama.
I'd like to see their metric for transfer portal usage.
Let's see what the next one is. Let's look at the next clip.
Oh, wow.
Now the average transfer portal spring transfer grades. Alabama's at A-. Miami's not in there, but whatever. Just Florida State's A+, Texas A+. Like, people just say Florida State's the only one using the transfer portal. If recruiting rankings matter, right? Can we go back to the other one, right? Not like, yeah. So let's just look back at this. So Alabama, Oregon, Texas. All right, we just remember those things. Alabama, Oregon, Texas are in the top 1, 2, 3, 6. So top 10 teams with average recruiting class. So Alabama, Oregon, Texas. Now go back to the spring transfer grades. Shit, Alabama, Oregon, Texas are in there with Florida State with the Aggies. If they are having the best recruiting classes, why do they even need to participate in the transfer portal?
Oh, I honestly didn't think about that. It's true. And then when we went over the stats last time, this is a grade not based on number, but on quality.
On quality.
So I believe Miami, didn't they have more transfers?
Yeah, way more transfers.
So it's like, what are we arguing?
But like, the thing is the goal. This isn't even the goal. To have the best have an A in the portal. It's to have a top 10 class. The goal is to have wins. So if you're winning, what the fuck does it matter? Apparently, me and Antonio Cromartie, we did spaces, and it's one of my. I love Crow. Like, I love people who, when we have disagreements, it's so intellectual. It is 2 guys who like to fight and like to argue, but we don't go in and I'm trying to destroy. It's like, okay, man, with logic. You know what? That's a really good point. Let me give you this counterpoint. Man, it's a very good discussion.
Right.
But like, the goal is to win fucking games. It's like, so like when I that's why people like, actually somebody put like James, you have some of the best one-liners on. Why don't you do this more? It's like, I hate arguing with stupid people. It bothers me. It's just like, I don't have the energy, because at a certain point I'm like, oh, you think you're winning. Like and then you got to remember the people you argue with are friends with people who are like them. So now you have more stupid people who come over here, and now you get involved, you get overwhelmed by the stupid. Like, and it bothers me. I'm just like, damn, man. Like, but anyways, like again, the goal is to win, right? The goal is to win. And I don't really know why other people do this. Oh, hold on. Just join in on the that poll is from On3, their transfer portal rankings. And then we used but the recruiting rankings, so we'll go back for CHJ229. So what I'm deducing is, and this is the average team recruiting rankings from per On3. So, but if there's very little differentiation in between On3 rivals 247. Well, what I tell my guy Fatal Jedi, what I like to use is what Dr. John Henry Clark says. I debate my equals. I educate everybody else. So like, but again, you look here at the recruiting classes, CHJ. Here's what the average recruiting classes is. Only 2 of these guys have won national championships. Only 3 of these guys, only 5 of them have been in the college football playoff. One of which backdoored their way into the college football playoff just this past season. So like, it's recruiting does not matter the way that it's traditionally mattered, because if it did, Miami would be the ACC champion. LSU would still have trouble because they're, going up against Alabama and Georgia in some capacity. Ohio State would be in the championship every year, which they aren't. And Notre Dame would be way better than what they are. In fact, the argument is Notre Dame. You know why they say Chip Kelly left Notre Dame, who was the guy who had most of those classes? Because there wasn't talent. They didn't have the talent that LSU had. That's what I'm just saying. Like, the stuff that people say, I'm like, I think a lot of times, well, and then it wouldn't matter still. I think a lot of times if people wrote down what they said and then tried to read it back out loud, they would like have a hard time. But then I remember a lot of the people who are arguing right now were the kids who were afraid to read out loud in class. So it wouldn't matter. And like I said, like all I care about is winning. Like, if you do your job, then fine. If you don't do your job, then I want to know, how do you get the pieces to do your job? But clearly we are getting the pieces that we need in some way, shape, or form. But going to the next thing.
And isn't the argument, it's like, what, development?
Development is the key.
But what's the lifespan of a young athlete now in college? Is it
3 years?
Yeah.
So it all comes out. Here's where things are going to get very interesting for the transfer portal. And I think it will actually make talent better. The NCAA is considering removing the ability to be a walk-on. I think the next one is the actual article. So you can click on but like what happens is, so right now, a lot of schools can keep like 105 to oh sweet, I'm getting some more stuff. My dog, man. When I tell you, man, he ain't on here. He ain't on here, but he's not on here right now, but he's a guy who had to get kicked out of 5th quarter too, for the opposite reason my guy Brandon got kicked out. So, he's stuff. He has dark humor, and if you're black and you don't know him, I can see where it comes. Like, he's not calling you the N-word. He's not gonna ever go that far. But like, he'll be like, you dark ass, like salamander or some shit. I'm not saying that's what he said, but what I'm saying is he's going to say something. He's going to use descriptors. But it's got some of the best medicinal. That's the one who'll be giving me the mason jars.
Really?
Yeah. So like, I'm sitting here, like, I'll go hog hunting with him. I got to tell you guys, like, I love confuse. My pleasure is to confuse the fuck out of people. That means I'm doing my job. I'm living my life right. If I'm confusing you. But anyways, though, walk-ons, getting rid of walk-ons would suck, because and a lot of people who are like, yeah, that's right, get rid of them. I was like, you don't know our history. Do you know before Jameis Winston who the highest drafted player in Florida State history was? Is anybody in the comments? I'll let y'all get that while I'm, answering that because I know y'all got a little delay while I'm looking at the article, kind of just read through it. And the reason is why is cool, but I think they could change some of the rules. And the reason why is what University of Florida just did with Cormani McClain. I can promise you that Cormani McClain is not paying to go to the University of Florida. He's probably got some kind of NIL package, which one of the first things that I thought about was, well, now you can pay walk-ons because everybody can participate in name, image, and likeness.
Oh, fact.
So you could technically bring in more talented players and just keep them on your roster and not take up roster spots. Now, the funny thing too about walk-ons is Deion Sanders was technically a walk-on at Florida State. You can go, if you're pro in another sport, you cannot be on full scholarship as long as you're pro in another sport, but you can walk on to another sport. Lot boy, thank you. Andre Wadsworth, he put that in the comments, was the highest drafted player in Florida State history. Andre Wadsworth started off at Florida State as a walk-on.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. What position? He was a defensive end. One of our best defensive end got drafted by the Arizona Cardinals. Because of academic things, I started my career off as a walk-on at Florida State. You would literally cut off a lot of great stories if you got rid of walk-ons. But I get the reason why. As part of a proposed new athlete composition model, Power Conference leaders are considering significantly reducing football rosters, potentially moving from a roster of more than 115 to as few as 85 to 95. The figure in 85 aligns with the maximum scholarship number permitted under NCAA rules. The concept circulated across administrative meetings over the last weeks as part of what could be a sweeping and historic transformation of the industry in the coming few months. All of it is rooted in a settlement agreement of various antitrust lawsuits. Any settlement of these cases is expected to feature as much as $2.9 billion in back damages for former players, and a future revenue sharing model with current athletes, and an overhaul of NCAA scholarship and roster structures. So a lot of this stuff has to just, deal with, it always has to deal with money. But I'm trying to scroll through this. While there continues to be heated debate over the football roster figure, a plan socialized with administrators as well as coaching staff entails a reduction in the 120-person football roster by as many as 35 spots. That would eliminate walk-on positions at most Power 5 schools. The programs are not required to provide scholarships to the NCAA maximum of 85. The move is rooted in legalities. Permitting scholarship expansion is a way to avoid future antitrust lawsuits related to athlete restrictions. It also affords schools more freedom to strike balance with the federal Title IX law requiring equal benefits to women and men athletes. Setting football roster limits is also an effort to reduce expenses and the rising cost of athlete revenue shares and instill a cost containment concept to limit a school scholarships distribution. There's just a lot that goes into it, but the reason why you want walk-ons too is so that you don't beat up your team. They're basically your practice squad players. Right. But, that would be an interesting thing. Like we could literally have a whole show called Sports in Courts. Like, because there's so much legal stuff going on that you need to do a show dedicated to the legal.
We have to completely disregard any platitudes of this being anything besides business, right? Because the walk-on is the last vestige of people who just want to play for the love of it.
At no level anymore do people just try to play for the love of it outside those guys. I was just talking about a kid who transferred right into Mandarin, and he played football at another school, Sandalwood. He didn't, he attended Sandalwood. Didn't play football. Now, it's a shame because he has a great body and he's actually talented. He out there just playing. He hasn't complained. Like, he took a trip to Puerto Rico in the middle of spring ball. Faux pas. If you have kids, guys, They've got 6 months to travel. Like, don't travel in the month of May. Don't most teams practice Monday through Thursday. And then they have the week of 4th of July off. Like, schedule your fucking vacations accordingly, guys. Like, Thanksgiving, if you're on a good team, bitch, learn how to fucking cook or go get a meal catered. Because you're not spending Thanksgiving, or you're literally driving there on. Because we have Thursday morning practices. Because we got a game on Friday.
Oh, that's right.
And if your kid goes to college, you know what's happening every Saturday? That's your last game in college. You're not going to fucking Thanksgiving. Learn how to fucking make greens and turkey at your own house, and you're not gonna be able to go to people's crib. Just telling you. There's Christmas. Spend Christmas with them. But if your kid goes to college and they're on a good program, you know what you're not doing either? You're probably not going to spend Christmas. They're probably not going anywhere for Christmas either. My point in all of this is that the kid is just a good kid. He just wants to play.
Yeah.
He hasn't asked for anything. He's not complaining, and he actually gives us a good look. I like kids like that. You need more people to reckon. When I coached at Ponte Vedra, it was the most fun I had because their parents had it set up. They already had the college paid plans. They were just out there wanting to be the best football player they want to be. South Georgia football is so good, and country towns are so good because they're not worried about going to college. They know only 1 or 2 of them go to college every generation or some shit like that. They want to be the best team in that podunk ass county for the rest of it. And that makes football fun.
Right.
Walk-ons literally pay. They pay for college. Now, they get some benefits. There are more benefits than your normal student, but they got to pay for their school. And that's why I know when people are like, well, they should have to pay for the plane ticket. No, nobody pays for that shit. Not even the walk-ons.
Yeah, come on, man.
Like, the school pays for the walk-ons to travel and do other shit too. So, like, just miss me with that shit. But bottom line is, that's going to suck if they get rid of the walk-ons on the walk-on position. But shit, I need a basketball show. I'm going to hit up RJ to see if he wants to do a basketball. If you got to tell him he got to do WNBA.
Oh, I was about to say, we're at the end of the season. But WNBA is just getting started, yeah.
Yeah, WNBA is exciting as fuck. Caitlin Clark getting her ass whooped, and they talking shit about her. The Angel Reese balling with the other girl. They going to Glorilla concerts and shit like that. Like, like they're having a good time. It's crazy because it's feeling very 96-ish. Like NBA 96 when like rap was starting to like get in the NBA and it was scaring the white folks.
Sexy Red is there.
Like, you know, like Sexy Red and Glorilla is their DMX and like all that shit like that. So it's crazy. I didn't realize people should tell me that Kendra got that I hate everything about you from Drake from DMX, which bothers me. It still bothers me.
Really? I love it.
The reason why it bothers me is very feminine. It reminded me, my homegirl Sheena told me, like reminded me, and I remember we were at the Rick Ross party at the Super Bowl in Arizona, and she hates Emmanuel Achu or Echo or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so this is what a woman says. So all my Kendrick Lamar guys who love this is a woman said this. I hate everything about him. I hate the way he walks. I hate the way he talks. I hate that suit he wears. I hate the woman that talks to him. I hate this. I'm like, damn, Sheena. Well, and what I said was, I was like, hey, Sheena, I can't. I'm with you on a lot of that, but that suit kind of fire. I know, but I hate the way he's wearing it. So like, it just is very effeminate. But it was also on one of those like 10 things I hate about you as well. That's why Drake did the meme. So like, you know,
the thing about
our gangster rappers should not be doing this, guys.
It's just the fact that you can't. That's the whole point of it, right? You can't make fun of Drake because if you say anything about Drake, you're a hater.
Oh, and then my bad. Polo Kid said DMX walked it back though.
When?
I don't know.
I didn't see that, and I don't.
I like DMX still though, because DMX. I was doing DMX to Kai because he would never be. I was like, arr, arr, arr. And he was laughing. I'm like, Kai, you realized there was a rapper that used to do this to people. And he was like, ha ha, Dad, there was a rapper that used to do. You're so silly. But yeah, I was like, he was literally the human version of a pit bull. Oh, he said he walked it back after he did the song on the View song. I guess he did a song with Drake. I don't know, man. But anyways, man, we got to get going. They got behind us, man. Appreciate you guys for coming and checking us out and hanging out, man. Please continue to check out the reels. Apparently, everybody loves the reel, the one reel that we just posted up with talking about the rookie videos.
Oh,
You know, yeah, he can get better. Everybody has a bad day. That wasn't the most flattering video of him, though. I'm sure he would say the same thing. I'm looking forward to seeing him ball out, but come check us out on Wednesday. I have talks about Thursday. Miles, you need to check out your schedule for the summer, so because Trey's going to be coming to Mandarin workout, so I need him to work out, and we work out in the mornings. So I know you got work, but if we could do it, do you think we could do a midday show? If you go in early,
like noon.
no, yeah, because I think we're done. We're done at like 11. So
We could talk. I think we can figure out something. It depends how long it is.
we'll try to keep it to an hour, no more than 90 minutes.
Yeah, I can probably do something. At lunch.
But yeah, so we'll try to but yeah, so is today Florida Emancipation Day? Because wait a minute, when did we get free in Florida? That's the crazy part when they talk about teaching the actual history.
Yeah, I don't know anything about
Well, you know why we celebrate Juneteenth, right?
That's the true day of freedom.
Yeah, like that's the last day. There was black people who was all the way free everywhere else except for Texas. They didn't know that like they didn't know they were free. Oh yeah, it is today. Emancipation was proclaimed in Tallahassee on May 20th, 1865. Like everybody, on God, man. People are really afraid to teach history. And I have no idea why. Like
I'd like to know.
just teach it. It's another day for my pilgrims. It's just another day we can be barbecuing, baby. Just look at it like that, man. Like most of our holidays that we celebrate were fake. That's not I got news for you. Jesus was born in the spring. Like he was not born on December 25th. Like Malcolm X's birthday was yesterday, I believe, Londa. They were, at least social media was talking about it all day yesterday. But nah, man, just happy Free Black People Day. I'm about to put that in Florida. So go get some flip cups. And actually what's funny is I know everybody hates him, but Andrew, I can't remember his last name now. No, the guy one of them red pill motherfuckers that
Okay.
Yeah, Drew Tate, like, cause he's saying really wild shit now, but the wild shit he was saying before kind of made sense. Now it's just like, all right, bro, you're going too much. People traded slavery. People traded the idea of freedom. Like, if you're working all day, you're not free. Like, you're a slave to somebody. You're a slave to the state in some capacity. So, like, was it the idea of earning a living wage means that Skeletor put this on IG. You ever seen the Skeletor thing? He uses the voice. Yeah. Well, remember.
Yeah.
Remember, the idea of earning a living wage means that you deserve to die. Until we meet again. That needs to be the way I end every show, until we meet again. But anyways, though, I'll let you guys later. Appreciate y'all for chopping it up with me.